What's exciting is that this year UConn is trying to do something historic. No women's team has ever won 4 national championships in a row. So we might see that, but a lot of games to be played before that would happen. I want to start over here. Last year, you had an underdog going pretty far in your brackets in Princeton.
I do, because my niece is on the team, and I'm a homer, and this year they were able to get an at-large, which I think is the first time it's ever happened.
But the question is, last year you had them going to the Final Four.
I know, I was being a little optimistic.
And if you make it to their first-round game, will you still be the only person not wearing orange in the section like you were last year?
I feel guilty about that. Orange doesn't look great on me.
And you have them losing to Ohio State. Ohio State has a great guard, Kelsey Mitchell, third leading scorer in the country. Scouting report on her, left-handed shooter who can sometimes dribble too much. That's what I understand is the scouting report on you as well.
I think that was an accurate assessment of me in high school. As I got older, my shot got worse, and I dribbled less because people were stealing the ball from me. So now I pass a lot.
Okay. And last year, Princeton played Maryland. You have Maryland down in the Lexington region. Yeah. And you were not only in the stands at that game, but your cardboard cutout was in the Maryland locker room before the game, using you as fuel for the fire since you did not pick Maryland.
I picked them this year to go all the way until they play Notre Dame.
And now we'll take a look at some of the early things in the Dallas region. You have Baylor getting upset here by Florida State.
This is my one big upset. I'm thinking that Baylor may be vulnerable. Florida State had a bad loss right at the end of the season, but I still think is actually underseeded. I'm going to give them a shot at going ahead and beating Baylor.
Now, Florida State has a sophomore post player, 5'11", and there was video posted that she posted this week of her dunking. And I was wondering, since your recent physical a week ago, you've grown a half inch in the last year. Perhaps you will be dunking soon again as well.
Let's clarify, I did not actually grow. It's just that the measurements, the first year they rounded down, and this year they rounded up. I couldn't dunk 10 years ago. I certainly cannot dunk today. And so she's got some impressive hops. You know, we're going to start here, and I'm going to pick South Carolina.
South Carolina led by Dawn Staley, great former point guard at the University of Virginia, yes.
Down here, we're looking at Notre Dame. This is going to be a terrific matchup.
Yeah, both South Carolina and Notre Dame only have 1 loss on the season, and those losses both came to?
Guess who?
Guess who, exactly.
Which brings us to this side of the bracket. I'm picking UConn, shockingly. I know there aren't going to be a lot of other people with that pick, but I'm taking a risk. I'm just going to keep this Cinderella run going, and I'm going to say that Florida State gets into the Final Four. In the finals, I've got to go with UConn and Notre Dame. 2 great coaches, 2 great programs, all of which leads me to conclude that UConn is in fact going to make history, that Breanna Stewart is going to win championships every year that she's there. And Coach Gino is going to be feeling pretty good about himself, and he's going to be making one last appearance at the White House, and will have overtaken John Wooden's record for most NCAA victories. What an incredible accomplishment that will be.
To put you on the spot, the 2 years it was not UConn, do you remember the names of the teams that were here?
I remember Baylor. The second one was either Texas Tech or Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
That's what I thought. There you go.
Big upset that year.
Not bad, guys.
Well, we appreciate you taking interest in the women's game as well. We'll ask you to put your
seal
on the bracket.
There you go.